Hello and welcome into the Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, John Kent here with you live from Mullen High School here in Denver, Colorado at De La Salle Stadium. And it is a chilly night, first time this year. It has felt like fall as, well, there are not a lot of people here on either sideline. The players are still in the locker room for both teams. It doesn't feel like we're about to start a game in 12 minutes, but we are. At least I think we are, John. So it should be a interesting one tonight. In some ways, John, this might be a de facto state championship, or excuse me, league championship when you look at the implications. In fact, while we are talking about that, let's go ahead and bring up that graphic. The 5A Front Range South League, Erie 2-0, Mullen 2-0. And don't be deceived by the 2-5 record for Mullen. Their schedule has been absolutely brutal. They started out, against a Lutheran high school in California that is really good out there. They have played Valor. They've had a murderer's row there. And then as you see league play has progressed, that's where they picked up both their wins. So, 2-0 teams. The winner of this game is going to be in the driver's seat for the league championship.
Yeah, I think definitely this is possibly the most important game left on Erie's schedule from a league standpoint, especially because coming in we had Vista Peak looked like they might be good, and I believe Legacy also came in and was looking good, but then league play starts, and Erie and Mullen are the only ones able to stay undefeated up till this point. And I think it's an important game, especially since it's on the road and the first kind of bad weather we've seen this season. So it's going to be important to respond well, especially against a team that, like you said, the 2-5 record might be deceiving, because even against these good teams like Ralston Valley and Valor Christian, they have put up points, and they've had some close games mixed in there.
John, we were talking pregame as we looked over the Tiger schedule about how much better this defense has played throughout the last about 4 games. In their last 3, only 9 combined points surrendered. Pretty spectacular kind of turnaround, especially when you consider what happened in that Mountain Vista game.
Yeah, the defense has definitely been I think the main factor in a lot of these wins, especially you look at that Broomfield win on the road. The offense only puts up 13, but the defense only allows 3, and that 3 was on the Broomfield offense had good field position to start that drive. So the defense has definitely been huge, and then in the last two games and before Broomfield, the offense has looked really good. So putting it all together has been going well for Erie so far in the last couple games.
When we think about some performers that need to play well tonight, Braylon Tolliver, we still have no Gavin Lusk available for this game. Donovan O'Brien will not be playing this game. We may not see him at least for the rest of the regular season. Of course, I'm sure that's, we don't know everything. So you hope Braylon has a big night. Gabe was banged up a little bit last week, but they're going to try and get him going here tonight. And another player that was a little bit banged up at times has been Lincoln Hageman, and I think they hope that he'll kind of step in as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really important to see who can step up and who can fill in the roles. So Donovan O'Brien has been the leading catcher for the Tigers. Gabe Sama has had the most yards, but it's going to be interesting to see, can he fill up that role, and can there be a receiver that steps up to be that number 2 option? And then in the run game, can Tolliver continue to carry it, and can Carson Hageman come in and be effective?
We talked about maybe the stats starting to pop off a little bit. You mentioned last week 4 passing touchdowns. That's big for the confidence of Ronan Ward. You see the balanced attack last week. You had 9.7 yards a carry, almost 500 total yards there against Vista Peak. Feels like the Erie offense starting to find its groove a little bit as we've gotten into league play here.
Yeah, I think the most important thing there is those 4 passing touchdowns, because for the most of the season so far, it's mainly been the run game that's been producing points, and you have a big play here or there for the passing game, and the short pass is effective enough to be a threat, but getting those points on the board with the pass game last game, I think really opens things up. So if the passing can continue to be effective like that, it's going to be really helpful.
Well, we got a good one for you tonight. It's Erie Mullen. Kickoff coming just around the corner in about 7 minutes. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo. It's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, John Kent here with you once again live from De La Salle Stadium here in Denver, the home of the Mullen Mustangs. And there's just something about Erie coming to Mullen that brings the rain. It has been a soggy and cold night. Last time we were here a couple years ago, it was a deluge of rain followed by a lightning delay that started our game about an hour late, or there was maybe a delay right in the middle of it. And they are going to do the national anthem here, so we will go back commercial for just a little bit.
You are watching the ETN. You are watching the ETN.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to CarawayOrtho.com.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, but that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Wow. Thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. We have gotten through the national anthem here at Mullen High School, and we are finally just moments away from getting underway here. Huge shout out tonight to Briscoe Garcia. He's the other man in our three-man crew. He is going to be a popsicle by halftime, so send him all your warmest regards. Is that where that term came from? Cold cameraman on top of the press box, send your warm regards? Well, if you have them, send them here tonight because it is going to be a chilly one for him. We're inside. We're in the press box, and we are cold. So can't imagine what it's going to be like for Briscoe. The Tigers will receive the kickoff wearing their white uniforms going from left to right. Mullen wearing their navy and gold, very Notre Dame looking, especially for a Catholic school. I guess that's right on the nose. They look like Notre Dame out there, do the Mustangs. So here we go. Mullen set to kick off. Back deep to receive for the Tigers is Braylon Tolliver. And not sure who else is back there, actually. No Donovan O'Brien, as we mentioned. He's usually the other player back there. As this one will be sent deep, and it will be taken by Ronan Ward. You have a quarterback returning kicks, and there he goes, weaving through traffic across the 40, and that is where the Tigers will start around the 43-yard line.
And we've seen the returning for Erie has been pretty solid this year with Owen Collard and Donovan O'Brien when there hasn't been a fumble. So the Erie offense has really been able to start with good field position for most of their drives this season, and that's going to be really helpful tonight in this cold environment.
So the Tigers will start from the far hash here. Ward and Tolliver in the backfield. Two wideouts here to the near side. Ball spotted at the 43. On 1st and 10, it's a low snap and a fumble. And jumped on there by both Tigers. And so the first play is going to be a loss.
Yeah, and snap troubles have been one of the only things holding the Tigers back this year. We've seen a couple games where that's been a really big deal, like Fort Collins, and then last game there's a couple problems. So that's not what you want to see early on.
Ward will clap his hands. He'll roll here to the near side, being chased, trying to get outside the pocket. He will be chased across the 45, so he gets past the original line of scrimmage and picks up about 7 yards, does Ronan on the carry.
And early on in the season, we didn't see Ronan get to use his legs that much, especially against those good defenses. But recently, he's gotten 3 rushing touchdowns on the board, so we've seen him been able to break that part of his game out a little bit more.
So Ward in the shotgun. He's going to give it to Tolliver, who will just hammer his way and drive the entire pile across the 50, across the other 45, and pick up the first down. What a run there by Braylon Tolliver, a pickup of about 12 yards.
Yeah, really great job by Tolliver, just using his strength and power to push forward. He made a contact first, almost 5 yards back, and then just absolutely pushed the pile forward. So really good first conversion there for the Tigers.
1st and 10 for Erie. Ball spotted at the Mullen 44. Ward in the shotgun, takes the sideways snap, fakes the handoff up through the middle. No one's going to touch him. Ronan Ward will take it to the house. 44 yards for Ward, and the Tigers are on top here early in this one.
And like I was saying, we've seen Ronan Ward be able to use his legs a lot more recently, and then those read option plays is where Ronan has been really effective. And outside of a couple plays, I think mostly in that Fort Collins game, he's made the right read, and it's worked to great effect for the Tigers so far this season.
So the Tigers get the ball first, and they strike quick. Ronan Ward showing off the speed, and the Tigers are exactly where they want to be early in this one. Now Mason Gouvin out to kick the extra point here. Ward the holder. Snap is good. The hold and the kick is up, and it is good. So the Tigers lead it 7-0 with 10:32 remaining here in quarter number 1.
And you really can't ask for a better start if you're the Tigers. Just a couple plays, you bounce back from a bad snap and really establish yourself on the ground. So I think especially in a colder game where throwing the balls might be a little bit harder, getting the ground game going early is going to be really nice.
So the Tigers set to kick here to the Mustangs. As we mentioned, the Mustangs are 2-5 on the year, but they have played a really, really difficult schedule. And it would not surprise me if Mullen finished 4-6 on the year, only a tick below the 500 mark after their start. Program that's trying to turn around and once refind where they once were in terms of the pantheon of greatness in Colorado football. Now Guvin set to kick this one. He will send this one. That ball's got to be as hard as a rock. Fielded at about the 7. And there's a big hole. And the Tigers finally corral the returner up near the 39. They might spot him down right at the 40. And that is where the Mustangs will take over 1st and 10.
And throughout the season, we've seen the Tigers' defense has gotten some unfavorable field position from either turnovers or returns or penalties from the offense. But for the most part, they've been able to stand strong, and they've been really good. So the Tigers' defense is going to be really big tonight.
So Koa Dietrich, the starting quarterback here for the Mustangs, will start out in the shotgun. Actually, that may be, yep, it is Dietrich. He'll hand it off, and the little cutback is not there. I think that was Dante Dupuch, and no gain on the play.
And something that I think was highlighted in the Broomfield game especially has been the Tigers' run defense, and especially inside run defense has been really phenomenal in the last 4 games. So keeping up that good run defense in a cold game is going to be really helpful.
Now here's a quick little curl out on the far side, and that is scooped up and caught on the quick little pitch and catch there. And a gain of about 6 from Dietrich, and I believe that was Nick Marcoux on the reception. Gain of 6, 3rd down and 4. There's the snap, deep drop here, fired over the middle, intercepted! Intercepted by the Tigers. I believe that's Kyler Campbell that picked that one off. And the Tigers force an early turnover.
And while some of the leaders on this defense have been the Hageman brothers, I think Kyler Campbell has quietly been one of the better players on this Erie defense, and really big play there early to give the Tigers some more momentum and set up the offense with some great field position.
Yeah, Kyler Campbell, one of those players that the Erie coaches rave about his smarts and making a big play there.
They did a really nice job just sitting in the middle of the field and just seeing where the quarterback was looking to throw it.
By the way, in case you're wondering why we're maybe a little hesitant, we are the furthest away that we typically are up here in this press box. It's nice, though, for sure. Now Ward throwing the screen pass back the other way. It's caught by Sema, trying to break a tackle there, and Sema finally drugged down. Never really fully developed. It was a little bit broken from the beginning, but it's still a 4-yard pickup there for the Tigers.
Yeah, a little bit of a broken play there. Ronan Ward got some pressure on him, I think a little bit earlier than he expected, but a good job of making a tough spinning throw there and just getting the ball out to his receiver and letting him try to make a bit of a play there.
8:34 remaining here in this first quarter of play. 2nd and 6 for the Tigers at the Mullen 42. It's Ward and Tulliver in the backfield here for Erie. Ward gets the snap, drops it on the turf and has to fall on it, and right now maybe the cold and wet affecting snaps a little bit out there.
Yeah, the rain coming in a little bit before game time, and then the cold combining to make a slick and really cold, hard ball is going to make it really hard to just catch the ball tonight.
And maybe a little nerves, too. This is Jackson Jamison who's starting at center tonight. First start at center for Jackson. Our usual producer, Chad, I know, is watching and a proud papa tonight. Little swing pass out there to Tolliver. Here come the flags. I think they're going to call an illegal man downfield here. I didn't see actually anyone illegally downfield. It could be a formation call.
I think that's probably either formation or maybe a really early like holding or hands to the face there. It didn't look like any of the offensive linemen drifted downfield that much.
All right, so 2 men in the backfield, illegal formation, the call. the the backup noise from the soundboard. Gotta love that. We gotta add that to our soundboard, I think. 3rd and about 18 here for the Tigers. They gotta get all the way up to the Mullen 31. Ward in the shotgun with trips to the far side, gets the snap. Scans the field, throws it in the middle, and they were trying to set up maybe a screen to Tolliver, and Mullen was all over that as it falls incomplete, and the Tigers will be forced to punt here on 4th and long.
And Tolliver just getting stuck in amongst the linemen in that one, and just Ward just had to throw it right over him. Good job not letting anything too negative happen, and let Carson Hageman have all right position for this punt.
So Carson, who I believe has been invited to the Coles kicking camp, a very prestigious kicking camp, and he can boot these for sure. The question is, can he drop one inside the 10? High punt. This is going to be a little bit short of the red zone here, but still pretty good. It's going to hit and roll down to the 18, and that is where Mullen will take over for the 2nd time today.
And a good job pinning them a little bit farther in their own territory than they might like, and the defense has been really good, obviously. So if they can hold here, the offense should get even better field position. Just winning that field position battle is really helpful, especially in one of these games where it might be a little bit harder to move the ball since it's so cold and the ball might be wet.
1st and 10 here for the Mustangs. Handoff just over that right side, and Tiger defense holding strong here so far early in this one. Nowhere to go.
And the start of where the Tigers defense has been good this entire season has been the defensive line. They've done a really good job of stopping the run, especially up the middle, and then on pass plays they've forced the quarterback to roll out of the pocket, or they've gotten to the quarterback a lot. So defensive line has been really good this year.
2nd and 9 here for the Mustangs. Dietrich in the shotgun. He's going to drop, fires the quick curl out here on the near side, and a nice timing route there, and that should be enough for the 1st down. They needed 9. That's pretty much what they got on the dot. They're big Mason Bonner out there on the reception. And so the ball spot, the 29, will be a fresh set of downs. 6:03 remaining here in quarter number 1. Ball spot at the near hash. 1st and 10. Limited scoreboard information here tonight on the road. Mullen trying to shift the formation, and that's going to draw a timeout from the Mullen sideline. So timeout here in the 1st quarter. Tigers lead it 7-0. A big 44-yard touchdown scamper by Ronan Ward through the middle to get the party started for Erie. Last time we were here, we talked about the deluge of rain, the lightning delay in the middle of it. We also had an incident here in which there were about, I don't know, I think I said it at the time. I'd have to go back and listen to that. A dozen cop cars here. So if we could avoid that tonight, that's a big dub for both teams here.
I don't know if there's enough people here for something like that to even happen. Yeah,
a little bit frosty here tonight, so not the biggest crowd. Handoff out of the timeout. Oh, a big hit there. I think that was Carson Hageman and Lincoln Hageman. And so DePooch got hammered there. You don't want to be in the middle of Hageman's sandwich.
No, and Carson Hageman there, we've seen him be really instrumental in the run game. He's very good at just sitting in the gaps and waiting for seeing where the running back is going to come in and then delivering just big hits to stop them in their tracks.
So 2nd and 9 here. Low snap. Fire over the middle, and almost right there was Owen Collard in coverage as Dietrich just overthrew his intended target. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, a really dangerous pass there. I think there was 3 Tigers that went over and just barely out of the reach of Owen Collard there at the very end.
So 3rd and 8 here. 4:47 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Dietrich in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide to the right plus an H-back. They'll actually motion that H-back here to the near side. He's going to pass, pressure in his face through the fade and threw it well out of bounds. I mean, that was like a jailbreak Carson Hageman shooting into the backfield, and that'll force a punt here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and a big part of the effectiveness of this Erie defense, and especially the pass defense, has been the quick pressure that they're able to get on the quarterback a lot of times. So we've seen a lot of games where the opposing quarterback will overthrow open receivers down the field a lot, and the pass rush has been a really instrumental part of keeping the opponent's passing offense down.
A penalty off the snap, so I think we might have an illegal formation, and Owen Collard almost got blocked into that football. Let's see what this flag is all about. A false start, or illegal formation actually, called here on Mullen. And the referees looking like they're going to tack it on to the end of the punt here instead of making the Tigers. Nope, the Tigers are going to elect a repunt.
And maybe hoping that return game you can get a little bit better field position than maybe a penalty tacked on would.
You know, I'm not totally sure you can get an illegal formation tacked on to the end of a punt. So
maybe it moves it back. Yeah, I think it moves it. Yeah, they're moving it back. Yeah, okay.
Well, correct. Yeah, I just mean I don't think you can.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, exercise the accepted penalty on the other end of that. So they'll redo the punt with 4:32 remaining here in the quarter. Tigers on top here early. Tigers sent a little bit of pressure, and that punt is going to land on the end line exactly at the 40. And anytime an official can spot the nose of a football on a thick white line, they will find a way to do that. And that makes measuring for a first down, you don't have to use the chain. Is the nose of the football touching the white paint of the 50 or not? So that's where the Tigers got to get to for first down. So 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. Here in this first quarter, Ward back in the shotgun here for Erie. Ward is going to hand it. Tolliver jitters through the hole and then gets popped near the first down marker. He'll pick up 9 when it's all said and done.
There's some really solid blocking there, giving Tolliver almost 5 or 6 yards unimpeded before he has to deliver some a big hit and some power to get a couple extra yards and get really close to that first down marker.
2nd and 1 here for Erie. You have Ward with Tolliver again. Tigers kind of a heavier package here. 2 H-backs, 2 split out wide. They'll send one of those H-backs in motion. They'll pitch it to Tolliver, and nowhere to go. That just wasn't there from the beginning, and Tolliver's going to lose a yard.
And we don't see many plays like that from Erie. Runs that either stretch to the outside or pitches. So an interesting kind of play that I don't think we've seen at all or much of.
So 3rd down and about 3 here for the Tigers. 3:09 remaining here in the first quarter. Ward in the shotgun with Tolliver. Ronan is going to run play action. Looks, fires out in the flat to Tolliver. He's wide open across the 40, the 35, and will just pelt a man himself on the run all the way inside the 30 down to the 28.
Yeah, and a really good grab there by Tolliver on that almost a bullet that Ronan Ward threw, and able to reel it in and get a big gain on the play. And Tolliver's been really good in the receiving game as well. I believe he's the 3rd leading receiver for the Tigers, and 2nd now that O'Brien is out for now.
25 on the pickup there between Ward and Tolliver. 1st and 10. 2:54 remaining here in the first quarter. It's a direct run here for Ward. Gets around the edge across the 20s where he is corralled out of bounds finally. And a pickup there of Ronan for 8 yards.
And I think one of the biggest things for Ronan Ward in the run game is his acceleration. A lot of the Erie running backs, they're a little bit more about like the power and strength behind their run. And Ronan Ward, there's a lot more quickness and like jittery movements that you see. So it's kind of a different style of running that the other team has to adjust for.
2nd and 2 here for the Tigers. Ward gets the snap. He will run read, gives it to Tolliver. Tolliver looking like a slalom skier back there, finally jiving and weaving through the hole, and he'll pick up 5.
And again, more of that kind of strength and bruiser type of running, or just going in and taking the hits but then pushing through them for a nice 5-yard first down.
Tigers, you see that personnel package of 2 tight ends here. Both receivers off the line. Tigers got to get set. They do. It's going to be a keeper there for Ward up the middle and trying to dive toward the end zone. He lost the ball after he hit the ground, but he picked up a good 13 yards before he hit the turf. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
And another solid read there from Ronan Ward, and then just barely shoestring tackled out of the air when he tried to almost dive for the end zone.
That was like a half dive, half
just
lunge,
like a jump,
half barrel roll. So 1st and 10. And the give in the little wishbone is stacked up, and they are going to say a loss of 1. Carson Hageman.
You don't see Carson Hageman get stopped behind or at the line of scrimmage very often there, so a good job by Mullen on really stacking the box and stopping a little run.
I believe the Tigers are without James Gottrin tonight. That's why you see Jackson Jameson in there. See if he can help push for the touchdown here. 1:05 left, 2nd and goal. Ward's going to take it to the outside, and he will have his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Ronan Ward, 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter for the senior quarterback.
And on that one, and then a couple other of these designed QB runs, we've seen Braylon Tolliver has done a really good job picking up a block for Ronan and letting him really stretch around the edge and pick up these yards and get in the end zone on that play.
Tigers 64 yards of rushing here in this first quarter of play, and tried to, now they'll shift into the extra point formation to try and make it a 14-0 game here with just under a minute left. And the kick is up, and it is good. So 14-0 Tigers lead with 59 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. And, well, we thought this could be a game, John, where it could be maybe a little bit tight, but right now a very commanding first quarter for Erie.
Yeah, we've seen the typical look from the Erie defense of just already getting a turnover and then not allowing anything in the run game. And then the offense has done a really good job of using the run game on this cold night, getting some different styles in there with the Ronan Ward runs, and then getting some power from Braylon Tolliver. So really just a good job from all phases for the Tigers.
Tiger fans, don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as there's the dummy onside kick. Also, comment in our stream, like and subscribe. We have over 5,000 subscribers now here on the Erie Tiger Network. Help us get to 6,000 as that kick is up and taken at the 2. Mullen will try and return this out. Nice stiff arm there out on the edge, and finally corralled out of bounds. They'll actually call a late hit there on Erie.
You don't want to see you hurt yourself with a penalty and giving them some better field position than they've gotten most of the night with a penalty on the end of that. And we've seen penalties on the end of penalties on the end of kicks hurt the Tigers before, like in that Broomfield game where it's how the Eagles got their only points.
So they will move it up to the 42-yard line, and that is where Mullen will start. And once again, you know, John, every time they never go between the hashes when they don't have to on like a special teams play. They'll try and put it right on that hash to start the drive. There's the handoff up the middle and a couple yards there. DePooch will grind his way for 3 yards there on first down.
And the run defense has been good so far tonight, and it's going to need to continue to be good because I think it's kind of the only thing we're going to be able to see from either team. One of the only passes from Mullen was an interception. So
DePooch has gotten better with each carry. 0, 1, 2, and 3 yards. So his next carry will be 4, right? There's the fade down the sideline, and the referee trying to find his flag. He finally does. And the Erie fans aren't going to like it because they'll think it was a late call. But the referee was fumbling around for that flag for quite a while, and I think that was a clear hold there on that fade route.
Yeah, and in a lot of these games, the only way that the opponents have been able to score has either been field position given to them by penalties or turnovers, or drives that get elongated because of a penalty, like we saw in the end of the first half in that Fort Collins game. So that's the only area where the defense has been a little bit shaky, has been letting up some penalties that have hurt them.
So 1st and 10 here for the Mustangs. Dietrich in the pistol formation here. The Pooch with it will try and bounce it to the outside, has a little bit of room, and finally slung out of bounds. That was Ashy Pierce that corralled him, and I think that's going to be enough for first. That'll be really close. The marker's on the 30. Oh, yeah, he's well past 30. A little 12-yard pickup there for DePooch.
Yeah, and since the run defense up the middle has been so good at stretching it to the outside, it did work on that one. And the worst example of that was Mountain Vista, where they were just able to use their speed to stretch it to the outside a lot. And outside of that, it hasn't been too bad.
That's going to do it for the quarter. We'll take a quick time out here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility, and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
Second quarter, ready to roll here. Tigers lead at 14-0 as we switch ends of the field, and a at least decent beginning of a drive going here for the Mustangs. Dietrich in the shotgun here. Takes the snap, gives it to DePooch. Met in the backfield, stiff arms a man away, and then finally cleaned up, but good tough running there by DePooch. He was able to at least push off of a Erie would-be tackler for a loss and turns into a 5-yard gain.
And for the most part this year and in the last couple of years, we've seen one of the staples of the Erie defense has been good tackling, and tackling in open space has been really good. But on that one, just not able to bring him down quickly. And, you know, maybe that's because of the cold, but you'd like to see the first tackle at least slow him down enough to stop him.
Pistol formation again, Dietrich. Behind him is DePooch. They'll run play action, looking downfield, throwing it, and Ashy Pierce may be the closest man to that as that fell at his feet. I think that one was intended for Sonny Dontai, and that'll be 3rd down and 5 or 6 here. So 11:15 left to go here in the first half of play. Mullen looking for their first score of the game. Here, ball spotted at the 23 on the far hash. Dietrich in the shotgun, flanked by DePooch. He's got 3 wide, 2 to the near side, and the Tigers don't like their defensive alignment, and so Coach Graff going to call a timeout here and talk things over with his unit, a unit that has been much improved after getting popped pretty hard by Mountain Vista. But you know what? Mountain Vista has done that to every single team on their schedule. So Valor gave up a 60 burger to Mountain Vista.
Yeah, I really don't know. I think the lowest score for that they've put up was 35 against Arapahoe in a shutout. So really no one has been able to stop that Mountain Vista offense, and when they have been able to, the opposing offense hasn't been able to put anything up to make it a close game.
So a 3rd down and 6 here for Mullen, or a long 5, kind of between about 5.5. We'll call it. Dietrich is going to drop back to pass. Scanning. He'll throw the screen, and it was mishandled there. But had that been caught, the Tigers were right there, as that was well read. I think that was Powell that was out there on the edge reading that one. Or, excuse me, was that Portillo? Maybe Gartrell was out there.
A really great job there by the Tigers defensive holding after a solid first down play from Mullen to force a long 4th down.
So 4th and 5.5 here, 11-11 remaining in the second quarter. Big play here for both teams. Dietrich in the shotgun. He's going to look to pass again. Fires, intercepted. Going the other way is Tolliver. He's across midfield. He has one man to beat, and he's going to burn it by him on the sideline. And Braylon Tolliver will take it to the house.
And Braylon Tolliver is obviously impactful on the offensive side of the field, but he's one of the Tigers' leading tacklers, and he's gotten a couple of interceptions there on the year, and a really nice play there set up by that 3rd down hold to make them throw it on 4th down when throwing the ball is just not going to be a valid option tonight for the most part.
Braylon Tolliver, that man is fast. That will be a interception return of 87 yards. Very nice. And the extra point is up and good. And Tolliver. Hey, you'll take a pick six anytime. You almost wish that could be added to his rushing stats, but that was some impressive speed by Braylon.
I think that's one of, if not the first, defensive touchdowns they've had on the year. I don't recall them unless in these past 2 games, or I guess the game before this they had one. I don't think they've had one yet. So a nice game to get it in as well, to just bump the lead up a little bit more in a game that's going to be a little bit tougher on offense.
By the way, in case you're wondering, Mountain Vista leading Fruita Monument in the first quarter 21-0. Number 7 Ralston Valley beating Columbine, who's number 3, 28-21 in the third. That's a big game, and if you're Erie, you might glean a little bit of confidence from a Ralston Valley victory over Columbine, who has not lost a game all year and are the defending state champions. So Tigers will kick this one off. And this one is well struck, going to be fielded. Oh, and a slip down and disaster for the Mullen return man as he caught it at the 3, tried to change direction and slipped. And so Mullen will have to start at its own 4-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're the Mullen offense, you're coming off of what was your most successful drive, which was perpetuated by Erie penalties, and then you throw a pick 6, and now you have to start your own 4, so it's a really tough spot for them. And the Erie defense is not an easy team to make a 96-yard drive on.
So 1st and 10 here for the Mustangs. Dietrich in the shotgun. He's going to hand it to Pooch. Will reverse field. Oh, he is swarmed in the end zone. The question is, did he break the goal line? The Tigers want a safety called. The near sideline official, I think, is going to call him down inside the half-yard line.
Yeah, and as DePooch was actually increasing his stats, a really good hold there by the Tigers, pushing him back and now making it even harder to get some space and get out of the end zone for Mullen here.
Almost a little surprised because DePooch he retreated himself back into that end zone. So 10:18 remaining here in the second quarter. It's now the ball placed inside the 1 on 2nd and long. Dietrich looking, trying to get it out of his hands quickly. Has a man. That was a nice pitch and catch, especially considering it's from deep in the end zone. And a pretty good pickup there as well, all the way out to the 12-yard line, a 12-yard pickup there for the Mustangs to big Mason Bonner.
And I think for them, it's having the confidence to throw it after the pick 6 is big. So probably going to have to watch that a little bit more if you're Erie. Just make sure that they're not going to try to pull anything on you.
3rd and 2. There's the snap. They're going to throw the fade route, trying to hook up with Bonner, and he was overshot. I think he wanted an interference call on a little bit of hand fighting, but they're not going to call that, as that was well overthrown.
Yeah, pretty solidly overthrown there, and just hard to throw it in this cold temperature. So. And Erie, that's been one of the areas where it's been a little bit shaky, has been those deep passes. It hasn't hurt Erie too much outside of, obviously, the Mountain Vista game, because either the pass rush has made the quarterback make a bad throw or the throw just hasn't been there.
So Mullen set to punt. Tolliver waiting back on the 45. Good snap. Punt high. Tolliver is actually going to call for a fair catch at the 47 is where the Tigers will take over. Well, the Erie community trying to travel down to this game. It's been a chilly game, so not a ton of fans down here that we typically see traveling out. Hopefully warm at home in front of the fireplace watching the ETN. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. It's Ronan Ward in the shotgun here. I think that's Carson Hageman flanking him. It is. Ward drops back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. He's going to pull it down and run and finally ducks ahead for a gain of only a couple.
And just a solid thinking there. Just don't see anything downfield. The pocket starting to break down. Just good job of not going down in the backfield and picking up just a couple of yards on 1st down.
2nd and 8, 9:14 remaining here in this second quarter. Tigers on the Mullen side of the field. They already lead it 21-0. Ward will check with his receivers here on the near side. He'll give it to Hageman, and the human bulldozer will Tonka tank his way for a couple yards.
All things considered, the Mullen defense has done a pretty solid job tonight of stopping that bulldozer type of run right up the middle from the Tigers. What's worked better has been either the read options or the outside runs from Ronan Ward. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of that as this game progresses.
So 3rd down and 6 here for the Tigers. Ward's going to check the play here at the line. Ronan, trying to get Mullen to jump. They did, but so did the Tigers here on the near side. Just couldn't quite hang on there was Parker Pruitt. I will say it is nice to see Parker Pruitt, the junior wide receiver, out there. Oh, they will call offside. I guess the offside happened before Parker Pruitt also jumped. Usually if both happen, they're going to call that on the offense every time. So Tigers maybe getting a little bit of a break there. They'll say that happened maybe a half second before Parker jumped himself. So 3rd and 1. Tigers could take a shot here if they want. Ward takes the snap. He'll just give it to Carson, and Carson will batter his way forward. And that is why, you could almost see Carson kind of playing fullback in an option offense at the next level.
Yeah, and Carson just so good at taking that first contact and then just keep moving and produce a little bit more yards. Got hit behind the 1st down marker, but then just able to stumble forward and get that 1st down.
Ward runs play action, pumps, fires it out to Collard, who makes a nice play. He was stumbling, and that could have very well thrown off the timing, and he was still able to kind of reach out and snare that one and picks up 10 yards.
Yeah, and a good catch there by Collard off the stumble, like you said. And then, we were talking about who's going to be that next man up, and Owen Collard has been one of the better receivers for Erie this year. So maybe Owen Collard can be that number 2 option behind Gabe Sama.
1st and 10 here for the Tigers. Ward will get the snap, play action. They're going to call a hold, as that was a nice pitch and catch, but they're going to call a hold there on Cole Powell as he kind of bulldogged his man down from behind, and that'll back up the Tigers well behind the sticks.
Yeah, and you don't like to see a penalty on number 1, a positive play, and then number 2, one of the passing plays you can get going. You really don't like to see that.
So 1st down and 20 after the hold call with 6:25 left to go here in the second quarter. Trips to the near side, and a timeout is going to be called here, I think. The officials want to discuss something. I don't think a team called the timeout. They wanted the clock to start rolling. Okay. So clock rolling, trips to the near side, 1st and 20. Ward claps his hands. He's going to give it to Tolliver on the delay, gets to the initial line and then jumps over the defender, but you can't do that in high school football. So flags flying from everywhere as they want to remove that potentially dangerous play. And, you know, that's just all athletic instincts. And Tolliver holding his hands over his ears like, gosh dang it. I'm just such a good athlete. It's hard for me not to do really cool things. And unfortunately, back-to-back flags for the Tigers. So it remains first down. So that's going to back it up to 1st and 35. You know what typically happens here? Oh, no, it's from the spot. Yeah, it's from the spot.
So,
okay.
A little bit better.
So only backs up a little bit. The Tigers have to get to about the 12, and right now they're at the 36. So 1st and 24. Ward in the shotgun here with Tolliver. They're going to give it to Tolliver. Makes a cut, gets to the outside now. Tried to hammer his way between two defenders and gets ridden down as he approached the original line of scrimmage. And, in fact, that is exactly where they will spot. So a 14-yard pickup there for Braylon.
So 2 runs in a row there going to the right side with Braden Tolliver on them. Both of them, the offensive line was really able to create a really big hole for Tolliver to start off. And he got like 10 yards both times without being contacted. So really good blocking, and that's the basis for good running. So
2nd and 10 here for the Tigers. Ward in the shotgun here. Dual wideouts here to the near side. Give to Tolliver. Stutters at the hole, then tried to kind of cut it back against the grain. And hard to bring down, but not much room to negotiate. Maybe a yard for Braylon. The inside or interior defense for Mullen has done a nice job tonight.
Yeah, we've really only seen the big runs come from delayed handoffs, some QB designed runs, and then some outside runs from Tolliver.
5:01 and counting here. 3rd and 9. Trips to the near side again. Ward's going to get the snap. He's going to keep it himself on the read. He's going to follow a blocker, tries to cut it up. It looked like there was a bigger hole, but good job in pursuit by Mullen to kind of rally to the ball there. And a pickup of 7 for Ronan.
And this Mullen defense really just, outside of a couple big plays, has not made it easy for the Erie offense. Erie has been able to move the ball well, but it hasn't been easily, as there's been a lot of running and some stops up the middle. But a good job from Mullen, and then the Erie has done a solid job of just grinding away and getting solid run plays.
4:12 remaining here in this second quarter. And it is 4th and 4 here. And Erie is going to let the play clock run down to 1, and they're going to call a timeout. So a timeout here for the Tigers. We will take a quick timeout as well here on the Erie Tiger Network. Welcome back. 4th and 4 for the Tigers here out of the timeout. You have single coverage out here on the near side with Collard. By the way, 3:59 remaining here in this half. Ward tried to get Mullen to jump. They didn't do so. Now he will check the play here. He's got Fireball and Collard to the near side. I think that's Oxiger up top. He's going to look down the field, fires. It got tipped at the line of scrimmage. They were trying to set something up there for Tolliver, and that got blocked away. So incomplete and a turnover on downs for Erie.
And we've seen both teams tonight try to employ the screen pass, but it really just has not worked at all for either team. Either the pass going bad or the opposing defense being there to stop it quickly. So that one kind of pass play that you'd think would work in a cold environment hasn't been effective so far.
You know, I think it's because there's not enough chatter in our stream, in our YouTube chat. You got to get going there. Got to pump up these Tigers. They're 1st and 10, a little delay handoff there, and a big hole, and nice job weaving, and a late flag coming in from the referee well behind the play. And so we'll have to see what this is all about. That was Montre Lewis Jr. on the carry. That would be a big gainer, but I think this is coming back. And they're going to call that on Mason Bonner, the receiver. So a little bit down the field. This won't be, I believe, a 1st and 20. It's going to be more like a 1st and maybe 15.
Yeah, and this Mullen offense, just anytime they get some sort of big play, it either gets called back or the drive doesn't end well in the case of that pick six that happened. So just not really able to get momentum going, especially since they've been pinned deep in their own territory on a lot of these drives.
1st and 13 it is at the end of the administration of that penalty. Low snap, little swing pass, and man, the Tigers, once again, they have got to be one of the better teams in the state at defending bubble screens. And they are right there, and only a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, the Tigers defense has been really good this year at not getting tricked by some of these movement plays or a little bit weirder plays. And we've seen the coverage has been really good at reading it. I think one of the guys we see do a good job at that a lot is Dylan Firebaugh has been at the right spot a lot of the times in these games.
3:01 remaining here in the quarter. 2nd and 12 for the Mustangs. They've got 4 wide here. They're going to pass. Dietrich looking, trying to fire the wheel route. Oh, and that was broken up beautifully there on the sideline. That was Steven Staff. He almost picked that one off. That hit the hands of the receiver, but Staff was there to jar the ball free from the back there on the wheel route.
Yeah, it was a good pass and a good catch, but then Steven Staff did a really good job of coming in and delivering a really tough hit there to knock the ball free and not allow Mullen to get a big play and get it close or to a 1st down.
3rd and 12 here. Dietrich in the shotgun here. He is 4 of 8 with an interception and 28 yards. Looking downfield, has a man emerging deep, trying to find him deep, and the Mullen fans want a hold. There was a slight tug of the jersey there by Ashy Pierce. That would have been ticky-tack either way. Instead, it goes against Mullen. That's one of those where, yeah, that could be called. You're going to have an upset fan base either way on that one.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where people say a holding can get called on almost every play, and that's another play kind of like that where you could call it, but then you could call holding on most long throws.
Here comes the punt, and this one's going to bounce and roll out just on the other side of midfield. Thanks for getting the chat going there, Alex. You know, I've missed all of the Avs games so far. Alex Ailey asking, why are the Avs struggling on defense, giving up so many goals? I don't know. I got to watch a game first. It's been all gas, no brakes here on the Erie Tiger Network the last week. A couple of streams. We had Erie Idol last night. You can purchase your tickets for that, I believe, on like Vanco Events through RevTrack. Handoff up the middle for Tolliver, and Tolliver will fight his way for 6 yards.
And while we have seen some big runs from the Erie offense, especially from Ronan Ward, they've done a very good job of just churning out these these 5 to 7 yard solid runs that really just keep the sticks moving. I think that's been really essential in this game so far.
1st and 10 here, or excuse me, 2nd and 4 here for the Tigers. 2:06 remaining here in the half. No 2-minute timeout, like in pro and now college. And I say that, and Mullen calls a timeout with 1:58, so not quite at 2 minutes, but they wanted to stop the clock there. So 2nd and 4, a timeout here on the field. The Tigers trying to make this a 4-score game before the end of the half.
I mean, yeah, you start out with good field position. You try to, you hope to maybe add just a little bit more at the end of half. Just really make sure any type of comeback is out of reach, especially in a game where offense is kind of going to be at a premium. But yeah, definitely want to try to tack something on here at the end.
So 2nd down and 4 to go here for the Tigers. It's Tolliver in the backfield. Sama is out there. I see Collard out there. I think Parker Pruitt is out there. There's the snap, play action, the out route, and just missed on the timing of that. And that one will fall incomplete.
It looked like it was either maybe a little bit out in front or just a little bit short of his receiver there. And some pretty tight coverage there from the Mullen defense.
3rd and 4 now. 1:54 remaining here in the half. Ward's going to roll the pocket to the right side, fires on the run. That one, can't tell if that was held on to or not out there on the sideline. I don't think Grant Nemeth was able to hang on to that one. And so that'll bring up 4th and 4.
And we've seen the throw on the scramble has been one of the things that's worked pretty well in the passing game this year. But on that one, just either maybe a little bit thrown too hard, or the cold just making it a little bit hard to catch that ball for Nemeth.
And the Tigers are lining up to punt here with 1:48 left. Maybe wanting to put some pressure on that Mullen offense. And it's going to be an option punt here, and Hageman is going to take it, and he will get the 1st down. And he absolutely truck stick the guy to get that 1st down. I like it because you kind of have the option there if you're Carson, and if you see it, go for it. If it's not there, he could still punt it away, and Carson will pick up about 7 yards there in a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and Carson, not an easy punter to bring down, obviously. So I like, ever since the Broomfield game, you've had that in your back pocket, and pulling it out there worked to really good effect.
He might be the most physically imposing punter in all of Colorado football. 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. 1:36 remaining here in the quarter. Ward in the shotgun. It's a delay handoff there to Tolliver. Tolliver gets through the first wave of defenders, lowers the head, and rumbles his way across the 25, across the 20, down to the 18-yard line.
And that halfback draw type of play has been one of the run plays that's we've been working a little bit better for Erie so far tonight. I don't think we've seen it go for a negative play. So when that straight up run up the middle isn't working, spicing it up has been working.
1st and 10, minute 12 remaining here in the quarter. Ward gets the snap, scans, looking, fires the corner route. Oh, just over the fingertips of Owen Collard, and Owen rolled his ankle trying to get that one, landed funny on it, and he is hobbled and slow to get up, but he is trying to walk that one off.
Yeah, just a little bit over the receiver there, and again, some pretty tight coverage, so I do like going for the end zone there. You have a minute left, you can afford to do it, but just a tiny bit overthrown.
So 2nd and 10 here, 1:03 remaining in the quarter. It's Hageman in the backfield there with Ward. Ward's going to adjust here at the line of scrimmage. Tigers have a lot of players banged up. Handoff on the read to Carson on the outside, and he pinballs off a defender, rumbling his way across the first down marker, inside the 5 down to the 3.
And Carson just for the most part, he hasn't been able to get a lot done on the ground so far this game because his usual up-the-middle bruiser style hasn't worked. But that time going to the outside and bouncing off a couple tackles worked really well.
Beg your pardon, 1st and goal here from the 3. The out route overshoots Fireball is Ward. 35 seconds left here for the Tigers. I believe Erie has 1 timeout. Not 100% sure. The scoreboard does not indicate the number of timeouts. 2nd and goal, though, with 35 seconds left. Carson Hageman will be back there with Ward. By the way, Tigers have now rushed for 100 yards here in this first half. Ward takes the snap. Runs read, bursts it into the end zone off the left side, and Ronan Ward has his 3rd rushing touchdown of the half and makes it a 4-score game for the Tigers.
And last week, we were talking about we saw 4 passing touchdowns, but this week with the colder environment, just right back to that run game, and Ronan Ward having doubling his rushing touchdowns on the season, I believe. So it's really good to see Ronan able to use that running ability in a situation where it's called upon.
So Goofin will add the extra point, and it will be 28-0 Tigers.
And as first halves go, this is about as good as you can get, and it's really nice to see with the adversity of the cold weather and a couple of your top guys being out with injury, the Tigers have just maintained the style play that they've been doing in throughout the season, and it's been working to good effect tonight.
So 32 seconds left here in the half. Tigers lead it by 4 scores. Let's fix our score bug here. If you are Mullen right now, kind of bamboozled of what to do on offense because nothing seemingly has really clicked into gear. Your best hope right now, I think, is a big return here.
And when you have had something to work on offense, it's either ended in a pick six or something pushing it back and or just not being able to get it done.
Low kick. It's going to skip all the way. Oh, man. It's going to go into the end zone. Let me tell you, had that been half a yard shorter, that would have been real interesting.
That would have been one of the best kicks I've ever seen if it had been about a half yard shorter there.
All right, folks, you're going to think this is a weird request, especially coming from the Erie Tigers, okay, an Erie Tiger Network stream. I'll explain here in a little bit. We'll have a little bit of time here, either between plays or at halftime, to go over this. But it'll make sense in a little bit. And a dropped ball there on first down. You probably remember the great Brandon Havard. He is now the athletic director at Loveland High School. And he says, hey, can we get a shout out to like the video on their Instagram? That's at LHS Athletics and Activities. And the reason is they're trying to win a multi-million-dollar stadium upgrade. One of 16 schools in the nation will win that upgrade. And we would love to help out Coach Havard, as he still checks in. You know, he's probably watching this game. That's why he threw us something, keeping an eye on it at least. And so we love Coach Havard and want to try and support him a little bit. So if you have, it's somewhere in your heart to love the Red Wolves, even if it's just only a tiny bit, only for Coach Havard. I know he would appreciate that. Timeout is going to be called there by Mullen with 1 second left. They want to run a play.
And I guess you think there's been a couple long passes where the receiver's been there, but it's just been either overthrown or there's been a penalty. So, you know, why not take a shot since it's been close to being there so far this game.
So 3rd and 7. That's really mostly inconsequential, as it is just one play now. The only thing that could extend this half is a defensive penalty. Heck, I told you Coach Havard would be watching. He just texted us, thanks for the shout out. So I know he's watching and listening. Thank you for staying in touch there, Coach Havard, and still supporting the Erie Tigers as best you can. So 3rd down and long, 1 second left to go here in the half. They are going to run a delay here and a pretty decent pickup, but that will end the half. DePooch, pickup there of about 11, and that's how we will end things. So the Tigers will go into halftime here leading 28-0. We are going to step aside. We'll come back, have some halftime stats and some scores from around the state here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Kicking off the season celebrating 35 years of serving our local community. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a do-it-yourself project. At Budget Home Supply, we value a more personal relationship with our customers. Hey, Ernest. Hey, Vern. Whether you have a project in your kitchen or bathroom, a new outside deck, or just some general home improvements, indoors or out, come on down to Budget Home Supply.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
We are strong and we'll get through this together. But these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome back in here. It's halftime here on the Erie Tiger Network. Erie leads it over Mullen here at De La Salle Stadium. And they lead it pretty good here, 28-0. And let's take a look at some of the first half stats. Ronan Ward, very unofficial stats, by the way. I feel like we always have to mention that. These are not the official stats. We're keeping it on a spreadsheet as we call the game. So, as you can imagine, we miss things from time to time. Ronan Ward, 3 of 7 for 39 yards. On the ground, the Tigers. Braylon Tulliver, 8 carries for 63 yards. Ronan Ward, he has 7 carries for 82 yards and 3 touchdowns. Carson Hageman has 5 carries for 27 yards. There were 2 fumbled snaps in the backfield that added up to 9 total loss of running yards. The 3 catches, by the way, for the Tigers. Gabe Sema has 1 for 4 yards. Braylon Tulliver, 1 for 25 yards. And Owen Collard, 1 for 10. And if you look at all-purpose yards, did Braylon have the kick return to start this game? Who was that? That was Ronan Ward, actually. Yeah, well, Braylon also added an 87-yard pick six early in the second quarter. So he's got 87 yards on the ground, or excuse me, through a pick six. He's got 63 on the ground. He's got 25 through the air. He's working on close to 200 all-purpose yards there in that first half. The Mullen Mustangs, Koa Dietrich with 9 pass attempts. He is 4 of 9 for 28 yards and an interception.
There's actually 2 because there's the one earlier to Kyler.
Yes, 2 interceptions. Well, you know, sometimes I just don't know what I'm talking about there, John. That's why we keep you around, to keep me honest there. So let's add that in there. Dante DePooch has 9 carries for Mullen for 33 yards. There was 1 carry by one other player that was called back due to a penalty, and so that's it. 82 total yards, and that's not even correct. There's no way that is correct. Let's fix our spreadsheet here because the total yards, that doesn't make any sense. So we are going to fix that. That should be C6, not 16. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. 20, that doesn't make any sense either. What is going on here? John, we got to figure this out. C6. Oh, it's not even in the right column. What are we doing here with our lives? All right. Well, we're just trying to go on the fly. There we go. 61 total yards for Mullen. Mason Bonner, by the way, has 2 catches for 21. 1 catch for 1 yard for Brennan Weaver, and Nick Marcoux 1 catch for 6 yards. Couple turnovers for Mullen. Overall, John, just kind of general thoughts there in the first half.
Yeah, so the Tigers just did a really good job of getting the run game going, and then just not looking back. Obviously, neither team really able to do a whole lot through the air, especially Mullen with the 2 interceptions and one of them going back the other way for 6. And then the defense just has done its job, and outside of the one drive that got elongated with some penalties that did end up with the pick 6, there really Mullen just hasn't not been able to do much, and the offense has just done a good job of capitalizing on the good field position that they get.
All right, let's take a look at some scores from around the state. I will do my best Kevin Schaefer impression here. As we look at the Colorado Preps scoreboard, last night Arvada West defeated Denver East, 10th ranked Arvada West, 29-21. Grandview over Cherokee Trail by 1 point. That was a good game, 14-13. Boulder knocked off North Glen, 17-14, and Lakewood got pounded by Overland, 50-19. Scores from tonight. We don't have any update in that Mountain Vista score. Last we said it was 21-0. Still listed as 21-0, and in the first quarter, that game has to be further along than that. Cherry Creek all over Eagle Crest in the second quarter, 30-0. Ralston, number 7, Columbine, number 3. That's a good one. It's in overtime right now, 28-28. Legend, number 4 in 5A. They are up big on Fountain Fort Carson, 28-0. Valor up big at half the number 5 team in 5A, 32-0. Fairview, the 6th ranked team in 5A, they lead Brighton 21-0 at the half. Pretty good fight there from the Bulldogs. Pine Creek at home, my alma mater, leading Chaparral 35-0. There's number 9 Erie. They of course lead at 28-0. Some other scores from around 5A of maybe some potential interest to the Tigers. Legacy beating Rangeview 28-3. The Tigers will play Legacy next week on a Thursday night at home. We will have that one on the Erie Tiger Network. Chatfield leading Denver South 49-7. I don't know why that's of interest. I think I just read it because I'm in the groove. And that's all she wrote for 5A. We'll check in at 4A. Our friends from the mountains. Can we call them friends? Montrose wins a tight one against Mesa Ridge. That one was down in Colorado Springs, 32-28. The final score between the number 2 and 5 ranked teams in 4A. Broomfield up big over Grand Junction in the first half, 28-0. Palmer Ridge beating Vista Ridge 28-0. That's a 2 ranked teams there. Palmer Ridge, kind of a tough start for them, maybe for expectations, but they lead it by 4 scores. Let's see here. Monarch, they're a team close by. They lead 45-0 over Greeley West. There we go, 2 St. Vrain teams. Longmont leads Skyline 20-6. And are there any other St. Vrain teams on the docket here tonight? I am not seeing any more. How about last night? Meade beat Greeley Central 57-6. I know this is riveting television right now, isn't it, John? Loveland, that's why Coach Havertz watching us. They won big last night over Silver Creek, 34-0. Frederick defeated Pooter 49-6. That's all she wrote. I'm sure I could find lines in there somewhere representing St. Vrain Valley School District. But the Tigers looking strong. They're back out on the field. Not quite able to capitalize on every drive tonight, but they really have made the most of their drives. A lot of long drives, a decent amount of plays run. You look, only 139 total yards of offense, but they've had a short field to work with throughout the night.
Yeah, and some of those drives that ended a bit prematurely were when they tried to throw the ball to get to the first down, and they're just not able to get the passing game going on some of those drives, and it ended up with the drive ending quickly.
Well, we have bored you to tears, so we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have the start of half number 2 here on the Erie Tiger Network.
You are watching the ETN. You are watching the ETN.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, but that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, as we are ready to get underway with half number 2. The Tigers will be kicking here on it's a cold night. Maybe just because our blood has thinned out like a bunch of Floridian retirees or something, John. But it just feels so cold here tonight, as this one is going to be taken at the 2. Decent seam there in the middle, and I don't think anyone's going to touch him. And the Tigers have had trouble covering kickoffs, and they give up a big one to start the half.
And a couple of years ago especially, there was a lot of return problems. But for the most part, we haven't seen so much of it, but not a good time to give one up. Give Mullen just a little bit of momentum to start off the half.
Well, that is certainly a way to come out of the locker room if you are the Mustangs, as you get an instant score here and kind of get right back in this thing. So Mullen out to kick the extra point, and it is up. And it is good. So it's a 21-point game, and not how you want to start if you're Erie.
No, definitely not. You know, the defense has been so good, and you'd rather, give them a shot to keep doing what they're doing rather than let up a return. And the return has been a bit of a problem so far tonight. We've seen a couple good returns.
That is frustrating as a coach, because kickoff coverage comes down to a couple things, and most of them aren't really skill. It's about discipline, desire, and effort. And if you can have discipline and effort, you are going to cover kickoffs at nearly a perfect rate. It's when you get undisciplined, you get out of your lanes, you have low effort, you don't shed blocks, that you see the big returns. And so that is going to drive the Erie coaches absolutely bananas. So 28-7. You can't twinkle toe your way down the field if you are on the kickoff team, So here we go. Back-to-back kickoffs to start this half. John, do you think we're going to see back-to-back returns? Nope, they're going to pooch this one. And actually a decent return there, and or at least hey, I'm going to get a few yards and then make sure that I don't give up this football, because we honor and value the football. Tommy Thyssen.
Whether intentional or not, that the squib kick, gives the Erie offense a solid field position to start off, and you want to make sure you don't give them any momentum by giving them the ball back quickly here.
Starting to sprinkle a little bit here in Denver. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 35 is where they will start. Ward in the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to Tolliver, bounces off a defender, and then goes nowhere in a hurry.
We've seen that inside run defense has been really strong for Mullen so far, and what's been working has been either the outside run or going for like a draw type of play and delaying the handoff a little bit.
They will actually give Braylon about half a yard on the carry. Ward again with trips to the far side, 2nd and 9. Claps his hands. It's a delay here to Tolliver. Tolliver trying to stretch it out. This time it was almost like they were spying him, and they drop him for no gain.
Yeah, just how I was saying, those have been working well. A good job by the Mullen defenders there of making contact and then eventually just pulling him down there and forcing what you'd expect to be either a throw or maybe some sort of QB run here from Ronan.
Well, right now Mullen has all the juice. See if the Tigers can't get a little spark here early in this half. 3rd and 9. Ward's going to check the play. 10:33 remaining here in the third quarter. Ward will get the snap. Looking, fires the fade route down the far sideline. A great catch by Owen Collard. And they are going to say incomplete, out of bounds. Hard to tell for us. That's all the way on the opposite side of the field. That was a heck of a catch by Collard, but couldn't haul it down in bounds.
Yeah, nice leaping catch there, but just apparently not able to get his foot down in bounds.
Oh, John, we just watched the replay on YouTube, and
maybe his toe was out.
Oh,
That's close.
That is really close. You can go back, run that one back, fans, and maybe someone with like a 4K TV giant screen can see that a little bit cleaner. As that one bounced, I think that hit a Mullen player. The ball is still free, and the Tigers jump on it. And so a fortunate break for Erie as the punt hit one of the Mullen. In fact, I actually didn't even see where it landed. It was kind of a massive humanity. I don't even know who that hit. We're watching this back, and I still don't see it hitting a Mullen player. And I don't think, honestly, John, I
I
don't
thought
think it
that
did
landed-
until the Erie players reacted like it was a fumble. I don't think it.
So still a fumble, but they just didn't hit anyone off the. I wonder if they thought it hit someone or if that was intentional reaction.
I don't know. Maybe I missed it. We'll have to rewatch that again. High pass through the wickets there, intended for Tolliver. Man, that was an interesting turn of events there. We went and we kind of ran that punt back a couple times, and we just didn't see it hit anyone, but maybe. Okay, we can see the ball flying in. I know you're not seeing this. We're trying to react to it for you. All right, we'll focus here on the game. 2nd down and 10 here for the Tigers. Ward in the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to Tolliver up the middle, little stutter. And right now this Mullen D-line has a little bit more gumption right now.
Yeah, and that punt or that punt fumble recovery, I guess, or muff punt recovery, I'm not sure. Really, it was a really big play there because Mullen, you get that kickoff return to start out, and then if you get that punt, it's going to be good field position for you. But really big for the Tigers to get that and hopefully keep a drive going here.
So there goes Ward. He'll stretch it out to the far side, and not a whole lot of room. Only picked his way for about 3 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. By the way, I am watching that back. I actually think that hit the back of the helmet of one of the upmen running down the field. So maybe it was a legitimate. Maybe that's why. It hit the helmet and carried him straight left. Okay, so it was a fumble there. But now it's a 4th down situation for Erie. 4th and about 4 here for the Tigers. Tigers have been a little sluggish to start this half. Getting up an early touchdown on a kickoff, and in danger of having their second 3 and out. This would be a 4 and out if they can't convert. There goes the give to Tolliver, and that is going to be right at the down to gain, or the marker, and it was a pretty good spot, and I think Erie's going to have it. They're actually going to bring this out to measure. That is right at the marker. And the official came, and my initial thought was that it was enough, but seeing where the football is laying, that's just going to totally.
It's going to be really close, yeah.
Depend here on if there's an extra link or two in that chain. And it will be a 1st down by about half the football. So close for the Mustangs, but the Tigers get a fresh set of downs.
And it's going to be really important to take that 1st down and then keep rolling, not give any momentum really to this Mullen team. That's coming out of the half hungry.
So Ward in the shotgun here. He's got Tolliver beside him. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers. He'll adjust. 13 left to go on the play clock. It's 8:14 left to go in the quarter. Ward is going to give it to Tolliver. Tolliver tried to burst out and stretch it out. And that second wave for Mullen has been pretty good tonight.
Yeah, and the Mullen defense is really on top of the just being locked down on the inside run the entire game. They've done a good job of addressing the delayed handoff so far. So I think maybe if you're Erie, you got to look into either a switch in running back or maybe a different kind of type of run.
The last 5 runs for Erie have been 0, 3, 4, 1, and 3 yards. So not a whole lot to go there. That was not in order, by the way. That was just looking at Ronan and Braylon's last handful of carries. So Ronan in the shotgun here. He'll send a man in motion. He's going to keep it on the read option. There's some room for Ronan, and he runs it over the numbers and just kind of weaves his way there for a pickup of about 11 or 12 yards.
And Ronan, just good as always on those read options, usually makes the right decision, and there it leads to getting a first down, and an important first down there for the Tigers.
So a 12-yard pickup there for Ronan. He's zeroing in on 100 yards. He's got 97 on the ground. Tigers will spread things out here a little bit, trying to maybe get a couple defenders outside of that box there. Quick little pass, far side, Sama catches, and man, Sama, his first step after the catch, so explosive and got up the field so quick. And a nice little 8-yard gain there, and it breaks a streak of incomplete passes there for Ward.
And in a game where it's been so run heavy, it is nice to mix in a nice little passing play every once in a while, just to still have that option. And also, you know, when you display that you have that option, it frees up your run game just a little bit. They gotta the coverage has to be a little bit tighter than they would be.
6:07 left to go here in the quarter. 2nd and 2 here. Ward with Tolliver in the backfield. Ronan. He is going to run read. He gives it to Tolliver, and Tolliver will put his foot in the ground and cuts straight up and picks up 4 yards and a first down.
And if you're the Erie offense here, if you can put a touchdown on the board, it's first of all, it's back to a 4-possession game, but then also you've run about half of the third quarter off the clock. So with this possession, with the punt and everything, only 5 minutes left.
So 1st and goal now for the Tigers. Ball spotted at the 8. You have Hageman in the backfield, a couple tight ends. They're going to run read, give it to Hageman, and Carson Hageman will plow his way into the end zone for a Tiger touchdown. And so Carson Hageman extends the Erie lead back to 4 scores.
And Carson Hageman obviously just so good at using his strength and power to just push through 2 tacklers there and just getting this Erie lead back up to 4 when a little bit of a shaky start to the half.
He said Erie was looking for a spark as that ball was miskicked right into the back of a lineman, and so it is only a 27-point game now. First score of the quarter for the Tigers with 5:09 remaining in the quarter, by the way. And if you are Erie,
if you're the Tigers here, I think you obviously you don't want to give up another long kick return. And you've seen the kick returns have been pretty effective for Mullen tonight. But then once the defense does come back on, you want to make sure that you're still fresh. You don't want to come out of half and haven't been on the field for a little while and be a little bit undisciplined and not like fully ready to go. So hopefully the defense is ready to go there over on the sideline.
Well, I appreciate Briscoe's attempt to dry the lens, only a little bit blurred now. Let's see, good job there. As there's a little pooch kick, Tigers don't want to deal with a return, and so Mullen will start at the 32.
Now, like maybe since your coverage hasn't been as good on the kickoffs, the defense has been very good so far tonight, so you trust them to deal with this a little bit worse field position rather than risk another big kickoff return.
So 1st and 10 here. Give over the left hash. And a decent gain there on 1st down for the Mustangs. That was their first offensive play of the quarter.
And that was a part of what was so effective about that drive for the Erie offense is it wasted so much time. There's only about 5 minutes left in the quarter for this Mullen offense, which has not been able to move the ball quickly in this game.
By the way, a Mullen Mustang is down well away from the play. Not totally sure what happened there. Hope he is okay. That was really odd to see because it wasn't DePooch who was involved in the play. In fact, I'm not 100% sure. 50. Well, we might be searching forever, John, trying to figure out. I think that was Amani Fuqua. Now passing play, and pretty good throw fading away, and they'll say incomplete, out of bounds. Koa Dietrich had pressure in his face, had to stop his rollout, and basically threw a fadeaway jumper from the baseline and almost found the net.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the Erie defense has been very good at, like forcing those tough throws on the run. And while Ronan makes a lot of those throws a lot of the time, a lot of the times those are more designed and intentional than what the Erie defense forces these opposing quarterbacks to do.
3rd and 5 here for the Mustangs. Ball spotted on the far hash. 4:40 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Quick little pitch and catch. That one is caught up the sideline. There goes Bonner. Bonner had one man to beat, and he was dragged down there by Owen Collard, and a big pickup there for the Mustangs.
A really nice job there by Collard when you missed the first tackle, which you never want to do, but a good job by Collard of not letting a bad situation get worse and let up a long touchdown.
That was 30. Well, shoot, I'm about to lose count here. I think that was about 33-ish yards. And there's a nice little tackle shooting in the backfield. Carson Hageman.
And the Erie defensive line just bottled it up, and good job by Hageman on when the running back tries to bounce it outside, just not letting that happen and pulling him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Dietrich trying to throw another quick one, and that was caught and immediately dropped. There was the Mullen receiver. That was Brennan Weaver, and that was Braylon Tolliver on the coverage.
And we've seen later in these games the short pass is kind of what has started to work for a lot of the teams the Tigers have come up against.
So 3rd down and a long 6 here for the Mustangs. Dietrich in the shotgun, flanked by DePooch. 4 wide. Dietrich looking, fires down the seam, and good coverage there by Steven Staff. Nick Marcoux wanted a flag on the play, as that was a post route that just was beyond the outstretched arms of Marcoux. So 4th down and 6 here for the Mustangs. We have 3:05 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And our score bug, by the way, we're sorry about that. We need to update that. As there's the curl route. I don't think they got enough. Well, that's going to be close. That's going to totally depend on the spot. They might even have to measure that. There we go. Now the score is right. And they will call them short. So turnover on downs. They had to get up to about the 22.5, and they mark them out at the 23. So half a yard shy. And only a 5-yard pickup, and the Tigers will take over on downs.
And a really good job by the defense of bending but not breaking. This is one of those situations where, you know, there's not really a threat of a field goal, so you just have to hold them from getting a touchdown, and they did a good job there.
Now Ronan Ward in the shotgun here. And I think that's Hageman back. Well, no, that's actually Tolliver back there. A lot of defensive motion along the front to start this quarter for Mullen. Trying to maybe catch Erie not only in a false start like that, but hard to know if you can time the snap up, changes your assignment at the last second. So see if Erie kind of adjusts their snap count a little bit here to try and make them commit, and then they'll let you know who to block a little bit easier. 1st and 15, though, after the 5-yard false start penalty on Erie. Ward tweaking the play at the line. Gets a snap, quick little kind of almost flare screen out to Firebaugh, and just taking what the defense gives and picks off an easy 5 yards.
I mean, you just want to get back to the original line of scrimmage and kind of reset the possession there.
Firebaugh, actually one of the social media managers for the Erie Tiger Network. Dylan, a good kid. He's a good kid to have in class, that's for sure. Rooting for him every time he touches the ball. 2nd and 11. Ward in the shotgun. Ward will give it to Tolliver. Tolliver tried to wait for the hole to open up, and it just kind of never materialized as he pushed it out to the 25.5 or so. So pick up a maybe 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Tigers. Tigers quickly to the line of scrimmage here. They'll snap this quickly. Ward rolling, fires the out route, and just never seemed quite in sync, as that was decent penetration out there on the edge for Mullen, and the Tigers will have to punt.
Yeah, and for both quarterbacks, there's been a lot of throws that have just been a little bit off tonight. For Ward, there's just been either a little bit too far out in front for some of these scrambling passes, and then for Dietrich, there's been a couple deep throws that could have really changed the flow of the game that have been a little bit overthrown.
So Hageman will boot this high into the night. It will bounce and take a Mullen bounce up to the 48 is where they will take over. So good field position here for Mullen. And 2:12 remaining.
And last time the Erie defense did give up a couple of conversions, but ended up stopping them. So I think that's going to kind of be what they need to do for the rest of the game, is just bend don't break is kind of what needs to happen. Is you can give up some yards and some conversions, but as long as you don't give up a bunch of touchdowns, you're all right.
So 34-7 the score. 2:12 remaining here in this 3rd quarter. Give to Pooch, trying to jitter his way forward, and he'll pick off about 3 yards, and it's not going to matter. There is a flag. Now, I think actually this is going to be on Erie, at least the way the Mustangs are clapping. I don't know if that'll be a face mask. Tiger defense already backing up a little bit. But now a 4-man referee huddle here. And with as cold as it is, I'm a little surprised that every referee not in there, huddled in tight. They look like penguins when they're huddled like that. Tigers commit 2 personal fouls there at the end of that. A late hit by Gio Giampietro, 15 yards, and then tack on 15 more. I'm guessing for maybe someone saying something. They called that on Aiden Arnold. Well, suddenly the Mustangs in real good field position, and the referee threw another flag. Actually, I think he was just trying to get some water off his flag. He like hammered threw that into the ground and then picked it up real quick. So 1st and 10 there. Thought that maybe was another penalty. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, or excuse me, for the Mustangs at the Tiger 20. Quick pass over the middle. That one's caught. A broken tackle. And that was a nice little curl route and move quickly up the field. A 12-yard pickup there for Dietrich. Hooking up with Brennan Weaver. Mustangs 1st and goal now. Down to the 8 with 1:37 left to go here in the quarter. Dietrich sends a man in motion. Their offense has yet to taste the end zone. The roll, the pass is overshot. His intended target was Dietrich. And that will bring up 2nd and goal.
And earlier in the game, we saw the Mustangs got relatively far down the field before throwing that pick 6. So it's going to be important to see if the Tigers can hold again here on 1st and goal.
Amani Fuqua, by the way, a lineman, the right guard for Mullen. He's got yellow shoes, so every once in a while I keep thinking there's a flag where there's not. 2nd and goal. Give to Pooch, trying to slither his way forward, and gets down to the 5, a 3-yard pickup. So 3rd and goal from the 5. 1:10 remaining here in the quarter. Tigers trying to keep the door shut here. Mullen trying to score their first offensive touchdown of the game. Dietrich gives it to Pooch. Tried to get through the hole. He jumped into the arms of a Tiger and got stopped after a yard, maybe 2. And that'll bring up 4th and goal from about the 3.5.
I tried to jump over a tackle or something on the ground there, but a good job by Erie of plugging the hole and not letting him slip through.
They will spot this down to the 3. In case you're wondering why that's not flag, he tried to jump over someone laying on the ground. A little bit different than what Tolliver did, tried to jump over a standing man. 4th and goal. Dietrich fires. The pass is intercepted at the line. The Tigers going the other way. I think it was Owen. No, that was Kyler Campbell, his 2nd pick of the night. He's got one man to beat, and he does. He takes it to the house. Kyler Campbell. And the Tiger defense shuts him down. Man, I didn't see what happened if he just plucked that out of the air. Oh, yeah.
It looks like he hit it up and then
he hit it up and then caught it.
Just really great awareness there just to catch that after the deflection. And the Tiger defense holding again when Mullen is finally driving. A 2nd pick 6 of the night, I think on the season as well.
Man, Kyler Campbell, 2 huge interceptions. And this time, that one pays off for the Tud. And the Tigers now lead it 41-7, and that is a backbreaker for the Mustangs. I mean, talk about the flip of a switch.
I mean, it's the 2nd time as well on both of Mullen's most kind of successful drives, both of which were kind of helped along by penalties on the Erie defense, end in a pick 6. One of which is on 4th and goal, and the other was, I believe, inside the 30.
Kyler Campbell, by the way, that was the last play of the quarter. So I was a little confused as you have a schoolyard loser's walk situation. You score, and then the other team is the one that has to take the trip down on the kick. By the way, I think our principal, Josh Griffin, I believe he is a Mullen alum. So kickoff here. For the Tigers as the fourth quarter about to be underway. And Gouvin will kick it out of bounds, so that will be a penalty here. Man, Kyler Campbell. He might be our player of the game here tonight, John. He is 2 interceptions and a pick 6 at the most opportune time. The only bad thing for Erie is their defense has to go back out on the field, and the Tigers have had, I don't know, 170 yards of interception return yardage tonight. Their offensive stats, you're going to look at this game, other teams that go, well, they don't have a ton of offensive firepower, only 173 yards so far tonight, but they have all of that in interception returns as well.
Yeah, the 2 long pick 6s and then the one other pick have really done a good help the Tigers offense in putting up points and maintaining a short field.
2nd and 10 here for the Mustangs. 11:26 left to go here in this game. Dietrich has pressure. DiPietro fell, and that was caught underneath, and a good little run after the catch by Weaver. So from the 35 all the way up to the 48. Pickup there of 17 yards for Mullen. And for Mullen, that is their 2nd longest play of the night. Dietrich with 4 wide. They are in full pass mode right now. Fires the out route. That one is caught by Weaver, and Lincoln Hageman going to ride him down from behind after a pickup there of about 6. Weaver now has 42 yards receiving. So 2nd and 5 here. And I hope there's not a fire in the press. We heard an alarm back here, folks. 2nd and 5. There's a out route caught on the sideline by Bonner. Tigers a little bit soft in their coverage, saying, you know what, complete stuff underneath. We'll tackle you in bounds as best we can. Keep the clock running. I think they are perfectly fine with being nickeled and dimed down the field here.
Yeah, just try not to let anything big over the top get completed.
Dietrich drops back, looking. Now he's pressured. Flag coming in, fires, and that's incomplete. I think we're going to see a hold here. Well, there's 2 flags. One on the line. Well, no, those are both in the backfield. There could be a roughing the passer where the 2nd flag came in. So we might see a penalty on both teams.
We have 2 fouls. Holding, offense number 75. Penalties decline. Personal foul. Blindside block. Also
Okay. So a blindside block is called. And they called that one on Boomer Herrera. Oh, that's a great name for an offensive lineman. Boomer.
I mean, now you especially just don't need to let anything up over the top with you know, a 1st and 35 or 25 maybe.
By the way, I'm watching the hold and the blindside block, both committed by the same players. Both were really obvious calls. 1st and a mile. Dietrich fires, and decent little gain there on 1st and being in the hole. In fact, they get back up to the original line of scrimmage. So you had that snap happen from the 49 all the way up to the 36. Yeah, 15 yards on the play from Dietrich to Bonner. So that'll make it 2nd and 10. It's almost as if that never happened. Dietrich. Immediate pressure, trying to get out of it, throws it up and away toward the sideline. Oh, man, and Dietrich is hurt. Gio tried to help him up and now checking in on him. And you could tell no malicious intent there by Gio. I think he felt bad. I don't know if
There were 2 Tigers rushing him, so I'm not sure if he got pushed or if it looks like Gio might have give him a little. He's an off platform.
Yeah, that's one of those where I think
It's just you got all the momentum.
Kind of pushed Dietrich at the same time that he landed on his left foot, and on a slick field.
Not a good combination.
Rolling the ankle. Only it's his right foot that is the one that is shaken up, because he's hopping only on his left foot. So just kind of, I think, rolled it trying to catch his balance. So 3rd and 10 after the incomplete pass. We'll see a new quarterback enter the game here for Mullen, and he has to come in hot off the bench. That's Zach Fisher. Fisher almost intercepted. Firebaugh jumped the route, read it really well, and the slick ball just maybe slipped through his fingers. That was only the 3rd pass attempt of the season for Fisher. By the way, how about this stat line? Fisher has 2 pass attempts, 1 completion for 69 yards and a touchdown. And now that's his 3rd pass attempt.
And I was saying earlier that the Tigers are generally pretty good at reading things. Then if you throw that many of those kind of small out routes or curls, eventually they're gonna jump on that, and just barely didn't get punished for it.
10:05 remaining here in this quarter. There's the pass. High, intercepted. Dylan Firebaugh. He's going to run it up the far sideline. Firebaugh will bowl him in over across midfield, and the Tigers are across 200 interception return yards tonight.
Yeah, and the Tigers just really anytime Mullen starts to get something going, it's been a pick.
In terms of yards, their defense has literally been their best offense tonight. Not too many times is that idiom true. Just
you get 2 pick sixes and now another good interception return there, and 4 interceptions on the game for the Tigers in this cold game.
What? By the way, they forgot to add the extra point. The scoreboard in the stadium says 40. Erie does have 41. So new quarterback in here for the Tigers. I think that's Aiden Arnold. Hands it off to Hageman. Hageman breaks the tackle up the sideline, and Carson Hageman will be shoved down. I think just shy. No, they'll give him the touchdown. Carson Hageman, 47-yard carry. And we'll say it every time. It's like he was born to play running back.
Yeah, and he's one of those running backs where once he takes off, you think, is he going to have enough speed to get there? But then every time someone tries to tackle him, they either get shrugged off or he's able to just keep going through them. So a really good run there for Carson.
So Carson, Mike Allstott Hageman. Butterfly pad flying down. He might have a butterfly pad, but he stings like a bee. As the extra point is up and good. 48-7. The Tigers have activated the running clock here.
I think the Tigers this game have kind of just they've done number one, they've done everything they've needed to, and it's been nice to see the ability to perform well in the bad environment, and then the defense's ability to come in at the clutch time, like in the red zone, and when the other team is driving, to stop that and even put up some points.
You know who loves that touchdown run? He just texted me. Coach Havard says, we all know he has the speed. And we saw it on display there. So Carson Hageman, 81 yards rushing tonight. Ronan Ward, 97. Braylon Tolliver, 79. 169 total yards on the ground for the Tigers tonight. And a Pooch kick. Fair caught down to the 25. That's an effective little pooch there because, running backward, going to call a fair catch. And, that's not a bad place to give up field position. Shoot, might just do that all season. 26-yard line is where Mullen will start this drive. 3 interceptions tonight for the Tiger defense. 4 interceptions tonight by the Tiger defense.
Mix in 2 pick sixes. That's a winning recipe for sure.
2 by Kyler Campbell, 1 by Braylon Tolliver, and 1 by Dylan Firebaugh. Now Fisher will hand it off to Pooch, and Pooch will grind his way for a couple. Pooch has every carry tonight for Mullen, 15 of them for 42 yards, 2.8 a pop. The Tiger run defense has been outstanding tonight. The Mullen fans so far chanting, "We can't hear you," in a 40-point frostbitten game. That's pretty funny. I got both of us. Oh my goodness. DePooch, by the way, what was that, about a 4-yard pickup? Oh my goodness. So, 3rd down. 3 here for the Mustangs. DePooch will bounce off the defender. He's across the 40. He's got 1 man to beat. How about that block by Bonner? And 1 man to beat, and he stepped out of bounds. And there's also a flag way back at the 40. And I hope they don't call that on Bonner. And I know you won't see this on our look. You'll have to watch the all 22 film or whatever. I don't know who they called that on.
Number 10.
Okay. They did not call that on Bonner. They called that on someone else. I was about to say, if they called that on Bonner,
really good
that
block.
was a heck of a block by a wide receiver. I mean, that's what you want to see if you're a Mullen fan. Unfortunately, that run
It's from the spot.
only
so.
nets about 12 total yards.
And a good, it doesn't matter anymore really because of the penalty, but a really great chase down tackle there by Owen Collard, I believe. Just hit him with the DK.
All right, 1st and 10 here for the Mustangs. 5:09 remaining. DePooch, he's got to be tired after that run, and he still finds a way for a nice little explosive gain. By the way, Bonner is doing work. He continues to just eviscerate men down the field. A 10-yard gain for DePooch. He's up to 69 yards on the ground. And
I mean, he's had a couple bigger runs tonight that have been called. I think that's the second at least that was, 30, 40 yards and got called back. So Mustangs have been hurting themselves with penalties along with the turnovers.
now a nice move by DePooch up the field, and he will score from 42 yards out. A couple of Mullen players are holding up their hands, so I kind of delayed that call, but there was no flag out there, and so it's a nice little scamper there for DePooch. So that'll make it 13-7. The clock will still run, by the way, once you breach. Well, I thought it ran in perpetuity. There is a flag. What is going on here? Dead ball. So they called a unsportsmanlike on Jesse Kaufman. Jesse, you're in my class. And yep, the clock operator stopped the clock, but it is still a running clock. Jesse, you're in my class. You can't commit unsportsmanlike conducts. We're going to have to give you a 0 in participation grade for the day.
Looks like extra point was blocked.
Yeah, I think that was.
Or wait, no, it wasn't. I don't know.
Well, I never saw a signal, good or otherwise.
It looked like Erie was celebrating it.
Yeah, what is going on here?
No.
Well, no good.
No, there's no. Okay, so they added. Okay, I was looking at the scoreboard and they added a point.
Okay, 48-13 is the correct score. 3:25 and counting. This should be probably the last sequence here for either team. We might still see actually Mullen try and onside it here. I know they're down by quite a bit, but
practice makes perfect.
Never know when you need it. Plus the unsportsmanlike brings us up to the 50. Now, it actually brings us up to the Erie 45.
Why
and
not?
So, now I just talked with Coach Geiger, and I said, if you ever encounter this situation, you have to onside it. And Mullen, I mean, there's no doubt you have to onside this.
I mean, yeah.
Even out of just principle of where you're kicking off from.
Yeah, kind of like
I will be outraged.
It's laying horizontally. It looks
Yeah,
like.
they're
So,
gonna.
yeah, they're gonna onside it.
And there's the kick. And they'll call an offside and an out of bounds, so it'll stay with Erie. Before the kick, it's encroachment, so it didn't matter that it went out. So they'll back up 5, and they'll do it again. And it should only be 5, right? Well, you want to bleed the clock, have an infraction on a kickoff, and
and a penalty
Teed
at the
off
start
on
of
the
that.
wrong.
Penalty at the start of that kickoff. It's been.
Why is Mullen kicking off 5? And the near side official's trying to get his attention. The Mullen coach wants a clock stoppage. They will get a temporary clock stoppage. All right, we'll do this again here. I don't know if you saw, what was that, the South Carolina-Alabama game? That onside kick was stupendous. And we'll try and helicopter this one again. Oh, look, that is almost perfectly executed. Good recognition there by the up man for Erie. That was Dylan Firebaugh. Dylan, you get extra credit in class.
I mean, he's always pretty solid at reading those screens and such. So just good, smart play there by Dylan.
So 1st and 10 here, and Tigers in victory formation. And they will kneel it down, and that should do it. So the Tigers, they will move to 3-0 in league play with that victory. And, well, I mean, we thought it might be a little closer, but I tell you what, the Tiger defense, I think, John, was the difference tonight.
Yeah, the Tiger defense was really phenomenal. Just every time the Mustangs had any type of momentum going, even when the Tiger defense gave them momentum in the form of penalties, the defense did a really good job of mainly getting interceptions. 4 interceptions on the night with 2 pick sixes. So the defense definitely helped out in this win.
Well, the Tigers will move to 6-2. We're going to end this so Briscoe can come thaw out here and get off the top of the press box. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll be back on the air next week. I believe we will have volleyball on Wednesday. We have a football game on Thursday. Goodness, so another action-packed